Hi, very good afternoon to everyone who's in attendance today, and thanks to Fahri for his kind words, and also especially a special thanks to my friend Eddie and eLawyer for having invited me to be a lawyer, to be a judge in the eLawyer blogging competition. I'm going to be keeping my speech very, very short because I think we're about to give out the prizes for today. But actually, I'm just going to be sharing or speaking on just two aspects to actually tie in with the theme of this eLawyer Law Conference today. The first theme is, of course, blogging and how it exists within the legal landscape. I think almost all of us here are either interested in blogging or are bloggers themselves, not necessarily lawyers, but bloggers. And I think the message imparted by Cheng Leong, by Nizam, and especially even Fahri's last words is that blogging does come with responsibilities. And what the responsibilities imposed are also a lot of the times set out under the law, whether it's under intellectual property and you have to take a note of trademark and copyright issues, and the more serious repercussions of blogging in terms of defamation and other legal proceedings under the Sedition Act or the ISA. So I think hopefully all of us today have learned a little bit more about responsibility and blogging, but that does not mean that it should in any way limit the scope of our discussions as long as it's done in a responsible way. The second aspect that I'm going to then also touch on is also directed to maybe a smaller portion of the audience today, and more specific to lawyers within the blogging sphere. That's the perspective that I come from as well. I've been blogging for about close to 3 years now. I maintain my own blog, and also within the small legal community, I see some of the Malaysian lawyers, law students. I read a couple of the law students' blogs here in Malaysia. And I think there's a lot more scope for lawyers, law students, for parties interested in law and the development of law within politics to still continue to adopt a critical mind in the writing that you adopt on your blogs. It's not merely making wild statements or wild arguments without substantiating, without researching, without making the effort to link to another blog to see the discussion that's taking part on that blog, whether on the blog post itself or the comments, and then you yourself contributing and adopting a critical mind. That I think there's still a lot more scope here in Malaysia. Some of the other jurisdictions, you see judges, you see lawyers, you see law firms establishing their own blogs, whether touching on or pushing the development of law. I've written an article and research before how, especially in America and the UK, authorities or discussions on blogs are actually creeping into judgments which are written by judges. That to me is mind-blowing. The fact that ordinary law students, lawyers, or even law professors are having discussions and talking about it on their blog, and then judges using that as authorities and actually quoting it in case law to decide on all our rights. So that is actually the power that we wield, and I think that is the a scope or the potential that all of us can have. Whether you're a lawyer, you're involved in any, I think in law in itself touches on all aspects of our lives. Yeah, so that's the only words that I would like to share with you today. Thank you really for sharing with us today through your questions. I can see a very vibrant community, and I think, yeah, I'm happy. I think all of the speakers here today, the judges here today, are very happy to answer any more questions or just to discuss, share blog links, etc. with everyone here today. So I think without much further ado, I'll leave it to the chairpersons to then bring us to the highlight of today, being the prizes for the eLawyer blog competition. Thanks.
Consolation prizes. The winners will walk away with eLawyer merchandise and a $100 eLawyer voucher.
James Liu Ka King.